you asked me that, is it true that the guitar is better when it's made only by one person than by two or three or more? Well, let me tell you one thing. One person or three persons or two persons or four doesn't mean anything related to quality. This is two separate things. Because in the past, that's how it was before, that only one person was making the guitar, but that's how also, and that's why it was full of flaws as well. Not all, but most of them. Right? And for example, in this company that has 3 main luthiers, 3 persons, and I'm sure that 6 eyes see more than 2. Right? Just like when flying on an airplane, there is the captain, and then there is copiloto or the lieutenant or other people, assistant of the captain. There's not only, yeah, it will be flew great and that, but you cannot say, yeah, the airplane, there is only one driver and that's why it's good. The ride is great because there is only one. No, there is other 2 persons assisting because it may fail, it may happen something, it may have a fade down or the stomach go wrong, or what if he loses consciousness, then the other people in the airplane cabin will help immediately, and they are trying to do that, right? They are also qualified as a captain, probably. Right? So you cannot fly an airplane only with one person. Yeah, you can do it, but in emergency situations, or at least that doesn't mean that that is the ideal thing to do, to fly an airplane. So similarly, as this is not less difficult than landing airplanes or flying to make a great instrument, in this case, in which 3 persons do the work together in a team and with the spirit of improving by the second, as you can appreciate, then that's great. I don't care that this is not only one person making it. The other day, actually, we went with a friend there, and then there was this documentary about some Granada Luthiers or something, and then 2 renowned people there. One was asked by the interviewer, people doing the interview was asking him, one of them, that how many people has to do a guitar to be a good guitar? And this guy goes, well, a guitar, if it is made by more than, how many are we in the workshop? 2. Well, if a guitar is made by more than 2 persons, then it's not good. It becomes impersonal, right? Like, that's totally, we laugh there because, my God, we said this thing is really, he doesn't even know how ignorant is such a statement, right? And how evident is what he wants to say, really, right? And then those standards of one person making the guitar are obsolete completely. Now, today, 2014, obsolete. For sure. I know that was the way because I also was young and were there, and 20 years ago there was, one to get a high-end guitar was made by one person, but if now 3 top of the line innovators and people who mastered the classic computer making, these people, if 3 of those guys work together, imagine what can come, right? Not imagine just listen it and feel it, because it's all about playability, right? Playability is most of the thing, and the quality, of course. So I will post at the description of this video about this thing of choosing guitars and all that, and listen to that. And regarding your other question, because you told me, can you tell me, please, who in Spain is makers of these guitars? And I answered you that I cannot answer you that, because I would be betraying the trust that the owners put in me by revealing to me these confidential things. Right? This is a brand that does not portray any name there from the very beginning, as advised by Paco himself, and which is not portraying any individual, because here it's about quality discourse, not about price or name. Names are, really speaking, useless. If I have a fretboard that doesn't tune, with a big, made by a big name, I don't care, it doesn't tune. I pick the ruler, how I know it doesn't tune. I pick the ruler and put the rule, and it's wrong, measurement wrong, then how is it that it's objectively proven, right? So to me the name thing means nothing. The quality means something. Therefore, I will post also the description of this video, that video explaining about what's the difference and the so-called fallacy or delusion the illusion about this so-called quality versus price ratio, which is really two things incompatible, right? Many of these things, I learned in years this stuff. I also was there one time and didn't know what I want 20 years ago and follow what everybody else follows. But then after a while you start thinking, well, is that true? It has to be a fretboard made of ebony to be good. Why? And why it cannot be used, like now they're using this Norway spruce. No, it has to be only German spruce, or it has to be only Cypress. Paco destroyed this thing totally before he started it, and in fact it has been under his guidance that this happens, right? Because, well, I feel proud that under his advice AG asked me feedback to improve their guitar, because I love guitar. I'm also a guitar collector, I'm a player, and I love to satisfy the thing. I feel honored that he wanted me to do that, right? Nor I am the owner there or something, and nor I am someone who will go against them because someone is asking this something, which part of a brand as itself, they don't understand the brand. It is not portraying any individual. Well, we don't know that, but that's a problem. That's not our problem. Our problem is concerned with quality only. And therefore this names thing and how many people can make a guitar, if it is explained or use the argument, right, to go for another target, which is implicitly there, if you read underline what it means, this thing. Like this guy said, how many people should make a guitar? And then he goes, how many are going to start to? Oh, more than two? No, like, you know, this is just so evident, right? Like, nobody's paying me to answer you now, right? This is a perfect example. What I'm doing just now. Nobody's paying me to do it. I do it because I want to do it. Because my success is to make you play better. And my informing you or giving you my opinion as I'm being asked in the magazine is only concerned with knowledge and with an educational purpose only. I'm not motivated by any so-called commission from anyone or that I will earn something particular or money, nothing at all, by giving you an advice. I give you an advice according to what I think can be beneficial for you, just for love of guitar, only that, because I even do not work because of duty or because I need to. I teach, and this is because this is my spirit to teach and to make you play better, and there is no price or money that can be paid for me to do it. I do it with the best heart to help you. Everything that I'm doing, I do just with that object. Right? It's like if now I tell you, for example, you can see that the intention of this guy was to say that if there is more than two persons, it becomes impersonal. Then how is that, if it is not only one person, how is that an only one person guitar made is full of flaws? And how is that the so-called made by two is also full of flaws? Because I can prove that. Please watch at the description the video about facts versus opinions, because you need to see it. It's something objective. And here in CFG, and with me in general, totally, not in general, totally, we're not talking about any brand or any commercial business thing here. Here, only people is welcome, those who love guitar and want to play and improve playing. And as my job as a teacher is part of it, is to answer or give advice about what I'm being asked by the students or by guitar lovers or people, friends. Many people want to listen about this guitar thing as a hobby, etc. I also play as a hobby. This is not my job. I elevated it to a hobby, and therefore this is what I love to do. That's why I'm doing it. So therefore, as I'm not obliged to anyone, I can say the truth. For example, what I said, that the 2014 guitars of this brand AG are much more superior than all the guitars from the past. From any other people making it, and even from the same brand itself. Why I should say that? I am not biased. I'm telling you, I have both, and I know what's the capacity, tuning capacity, and that of this, and what was before, which is the same that the finest, so-called finest, or even truly finest guitar in Spain will have, was a raw fretboard before 2013, right? And Post-Paco and Lucia was asked about this thing, but he said, well, we follow his advice. He said, if someone doesn't like it, let him take a glass of water. Si se molesta alguien, que tome agua y ya se le pasará. That's what he said. Right? So this is the thing, because why we have to be focused on one thing: music and quality. Quality of learning, his studies, music, etc. And when you are talking about all this one person making two person, this name, that name, then that's another thing totally different to what we are talking here. We start to get knowledge about music and about guitar. And in Luthiership, or this art, people sometimes very puffed up also because, well, that's how it was before there was not much choice also. It was more or less the same of the same of the same. And also, well, that's why we fell into that circle going around the same thing, because there was not much to choose, but now there is. Just like all these people is working great and innovating all the time, by the second improving. I tested, and if it were not, I would not be playing it or saying it or recommending anything which I don't know 120% that it will not only it will surpass the expectation of the person that is asking, because I prefer relationships and friendship than any business or whole business. First of all, business is not my thing. I'm not a businessman, I'm a guitar teacher. I know the market because I know everyone who knows the market of guitars outside, I mean here in my country, but that doesn't mean I am a businessman, I'm a guitar teacher. Right? So my duty is to inform you my opinion, and then if that's useful to you, then take it. Right? Otherwise, ultimately, only you have to know what you like and what you don't like, but not based on opinions or on politics or something. That is useless, really. That doesn't affect me or them or anyone. Not at all. All the opposite. All the opposite. That's what Paco said. If someone is criticizing another person, it means he's not playing. He's using his time to do this criticism instead of studying. So, right? And therefore, if someone is obliged there for some economic motivation or something, they are saying something with a biased interest, right? They're biased because they have a hidden motive, right? Which I don't have, because I am answering you and nobody's charging you for the answer. Although my time is valuable, it is. I will not say it is not. It is valuable because I could be now, instead of saying this, I could be learning more about the last Paco Lucia's album, which I launched the first intro of the Falseta thing just a week after it was launched publicly, or 5 days or something. We have even written now this for the public, Canción Andaluza. You can see that I could be doing many of the things, but why I'm not doing that? Well, because you asked me this question, I want to satisfy your curiosity about it, because this is something that if I tell you in May, I will go there 20 years, and you also are a reader of the magazine, which I'm happy. You're very welcome to ask anything you want to know. But this is the thing, right? That we have to be, well, really understanding first of all what we want when we choose a guitar. And then you have to decide, I cannot decide for you. But based on this one person making this name, that name, forget about that, that's an obsolete idea. Totally. Because if a guitar can be made by 3 or by 5 or by 10 persons, I want that guitar made by 10 persons perfect. I don't want the imperfect made by one person made by one. It seems a joke, right? So this is the thing. And choice means when you have knowledge, you can choose, because then you're free. But if you are following the same without even knowing you are following the same, or some concept which is obsolete, like this one, or the other about trying guitars, like the way, watch that about trying, because this is another interesting thing. Okay, thank you for your questions and for your spirit to know more, and I'll see you next time.